of self-hatred that you cannot contain it.
General opinion's starting to make out that we live in a world of hatred and greed.
When Dawson and Downey went into Santiago's room that night, it wasn't because of vengeance or hatred.
Doesn't that hatred you've been hearing the clan say, doesn't that piss you off?
All this hatred and turmoil swirling around us, but this is always right.
By the sixth day, that hole was as dark and deep as my hatred for Dad's God.
I fully ignored my hatred for Becca in coming up with this plan.
You've grown very ambitious in your hatred.
Self-deception to ignore the connection between that lawlessness and hatred and this act of violence.
Well, in the soil of the Americas, the white man has planted the seeds of hatred.
You see people make
poison into her ear regarding you until she is mad with hatred for you, or
the hatred of Governor Odious.
Anyone should. My heart was filling up with such hatred for that little man.
Hatred destroyed my family.
And in this world today full of hatred, a man who knows that one rule has a great trust.
We call these demons fear and hatred and anger.
And hatred.
And violence.
Racial hatred started a war in this country.
Everyone is assuming that the motive is hatred or revenge.
Your heart is so full of hatred, you are not fit to be a king.
You're the one who looked at me with such hatred.
I accepted her hatred towards me as some phase that she's going through, but clearly this isn't a phase.
I deserve your hatred.
gave into that hatred and I turned on what I believed in.
You little fishes with your dreams of hatred and killing.
Meat and gristle and hatred.
Hatred!
Hatred is rudimentary.
There is something about connecting over mutual hatred that's just so much deeper than mutual love.
While those who incite hatred and seek to destroy democracy are treated as victims.
Before long, my hatred is spent.
Hatred between the classes.
Far too many whites are afflicted with the disease of racial hatred.
Anguish, ecstasy, faith, jealousy, love, hatred, life or death.
The German sees himself as the innocent victim of world envy and hatred conspired against.
Your hatred.
Hatred's a very underestimated emotion.
Underneath is a deep, deep hatred for what you did to them.
Can a man whose thoughts are born in anger and hatred?
I'm talking about a deep-seated obsessional hatred and an utter lack of respect for human life.
Hatred and fear of life.
And I had this sense of self-hatred, fear.
Since the discovery of their existence, they have been regarded with fear, suspicion, often hatred.
Pure.
18-year-old still has some hatred issues towards me.
When you came out of that house with pure hatred in your eyes.
Centuries of glorious hatred passed down through generations.
To sow hatred and inspire terror.
There was such hatred in her eyes.
If you give people hatred,
now that is worse than hatred.
But surely that approach inflames racial hatred and anti-whiteism.
Nowhere is there any wild patriotic excitement, but everywhere there is a deep hatred of war.
Locked together in hatred.
Envy, fear, trembling, hatred, lust, and pretense.
For I do not fight out of hatred.
Where does it come from? All this hatred.
Sometimes all I see is the hatred and frailty.
The witch, with imperishable hatred of me.
Makes his hatred for you decrease and his respect increase.
But without such hatred, the so-called chosen people would vanish from the earth.
Especially in days of hatred.
Now we will put away our hatred.
And I think also he allowed his own self-hatred to be projected towards.
Divided and conquered the people of the South by appealing to their racial hatred.
You want your last words to be words of hatred?
They came uninvited to our home, bringing malice and hatred.
Is that there are some men whose hatred of slavery is stronger than anything.
I wish I had a cause to seek him there, to oppose his hatred fully.
Without my hatred, I never could have lived to exhume myself.
Fully fledged humanitarian with a BA in hatred.
Where there was hatred, Muad'Dib would bring love.
And that fear will turn to hatred.
What we do today is not out of fear or hatred.
But I can't come back from that venom and that hatred and that ugliness.
That is to live without fear and hatred.
Dusty's a man easily blinded by hatred.
When the barricades came down, we saw an opportunity to cleanse ourselves of our hatred.
Do you deny that your envy and hatred drove you to shed the Hard Master's blood?
Why, even when I was innocent, a hatred of me hurt a good deal.
A weak, godless man filled with fear and hatred.
So full of hatred, just want to go out and fight everybody.
Was your
bitterness and hatred?
Suffering thousands of years of hatred doesn't make you decent.
The second the priest poured that holy water over me, all my Jewish neurosis and self-hatred just washed right up.
Rage, anger, hatred, and then the loss of another sense.
You should have recognized the hatred in your face outside Clinton's door.
Even perhaps a touch of hatred.
Whose very shores look pale with envy of each other's happiness, may cease their hatred.
So you think racial hatred is a good thing?
Vicious, cruel, obsessed by a single-minded hatred which could never be deterred.
The Council deplores and condemns hatred and persecutions of Jews.
If there's any way of destroying hatred and all that goes with it, it's not through evil and hatred and cruelty.
You swear to tell the truth without hatred or fear?
Not even hatred.
I think you'll find driven his whole life by hatred of his father.
Permit men that are filled with hatred.
People cannot sing with hatred in their hearts, senor.
We're in fact dictated by my hatred towards that man.
For whom he professed a deep and secret hatred.
Because I understand where the hatred comes from.
I mean, talk about hatred.
And our land will become a land of Sodom and Gomorrah, a pestilence of fire, of hatred, and of death.
It is better than hatred of the familiar.
And fear so easily turns to hatred.
I looked down at her and thought with hatred of Riago, our Apache scout who led us to this place.
One must never underestimate the healing power of hatred.
If he evade us there, enforce him with his hatred to the people.
But the hatred that we leave behind us never dies.
The artist lives, where you can feel at times not just self-hatred, but you hate the fans, you hate